Hello and welcome back to another weekly dev chat video where we discuss everything that devs have spoken about the new Paralives, which have delayed recently from December to the May, but let's just keep the hype up and really focus on what's good is coming to the game. So if you don't know, they yesterday published an announcement where they told us that the live mode isn't exactly quite ready yet and there is a few bugs in there. I'm not gonna read this whole announcement, so you can pause this video and read it through, but I'm so happy that they took accountability with their game and the state of the game, and they want to fix it to the point that it's good to play and so that the fans can really enjoy it when they first time publish it. So I think with this channel I'm gonna still do these weekly dev videos and then I'm gonna do some Sims videos, but if you could comment me what kind of cozy games do you want to play. Example, I really like to play Stardew Valley, so I want to know if there is other Stardew Valley fans in here, so maybe I can do videos about that, because recently I've been figuring out what I should do with this channel, because everything that is happening with the EA right now, I don't want to focus just with the Sims. I want to kind of have a rebrand and have some kind of like, or just to become cozy gaming channel or something else. I don't know, but we are just figuring and exploring. So let me know what kind of cozy games do you like to see in this channel, and also what kind of cozy games you are playing. But now let's start with our new weekly devs chat questions. So the first question is: could you tell us how many voices we can choose from both masculine and feminine when the game releases, and if they will have voice pitch sliders? A great question. For early access there will be 4 different adult voices, 2 masculine, 2 feminine, 1 for children, 1 for toddler and 1 for babies. Pitch sliders will come during early access, as well as more voice options. And that is actually so cool, because I really want to have different kind of voices in the game, and especially I want the voices to reflect the emotions that the paras are having. So it's good to know that there is still coming more voices. And then there is a question about the town. Will there be a grocery store or some place where we can buy food for our paras, and if they want to go out to eat, could they go to a dinner or restaurant? And they answer, you don't need ingredients to cook, there are no grocery stores in the game. You can buy food at the cafe currently, we'll add more town interactions as things go along. Thank you for the question. And I wanna pop up new question which is related to this right away, and it goes: will there be a library or bookshop in the town? Yes, there will be. Look forward to them. And that is so cool, because I really enjoy reading books in my own life, and I always want to have my simulating people to go to the library and read books and hang around in there. And I'm so happy that we are having also bookshop, because that is actually so cute. Now let's go to the live mode questions. How can NPCs die on our lots, and can they die on community lots? By NPCs I mean townies that randomly spawn and playable households we'll already have in the world but are not playing at the current moment. For now, NPCs can't really die, since most of the possible deaths are associated to needs and they don't have their needs updated like our controlled characters. It might change in the future though. And this is not actually surprising me, because they have said that there isn't like story progression with the NPCs right now, or used to be. I don't know if it's gonna change because they postponed the early access release, but other than that I'm not surprised about this. How many death dice will there be on the early access release? For now just 4. Needs, hunger, exhaustion, age and fire. And yeah, I'm actually a little surprised that there isn't like any more of death types, but I totally get it that it's still on early access, but somehow I was just thinking that there could be more, but maybe they will add more now that they have more time, or they're just focusing on what they need to fix. Question is about making food. How extensive will the system for cooking meals be in Paralives by 1.0 or beyond? Will Para perhaps be able to select specific ingredients and perhaps choose how exactly to cook meals, and will it be possible, whether officially or through mods, that meals might affect a Para's motives? For instance, certain meals might give a Para energy. Hello! While it's fun to speculate and think about the future, we are currently focusing on what will be available for early access, which means that the cooking system is pretty simple with no ingredients or special effects for specific food items, if you do not count non-vegetarian meals being unpleasant for vegetarian Para folks. Yeah, that is so cool. As for what the future holds in store for us, it's really hard to say. We'll get back to it when the time is right. Thank you. And I have to say, I really enjoy that example in The Sims 4. There are like different cultures represented by the food, but other than that, I'm not so interested about how many different food meals or meals there are. I like that there are variety, but not like 25 or more food types in the game, so I'm not kind of waiting too much that how much they're gonna add foods in here, but it's interesting to see if there's gonna be some kind of like ingredients meal prepping thing mechanic in the game in the future. And with next question we got, I think, a little bit more about the new perks or with the new traits, or this is something really new to me. Hello, and I hope you are all doing wonderfully. Knowing that a lot of the fanbase is neurodivergent, how would the issue of neurodivergence, mental illness and mental disability will be handled in the game, especially knowing how the lines can be easily separated from personality and knowing that the personality system already in place works on a positive trait system. I would understand if it becomes too hard to represent and therefore either delayed or not addressed directly, though I'd also imagine it could be said that this is a huge part of many lives and therefore should be represented in a live sim. I personally would be pleased to see players be able to represent their joys and struggles within the game if they so choose. I know I do already in other games. And that is a really interesting question. We are having very much example body representation in the game, but this is something really new for me. But the answer is thank you. I hope you are doing well too. While we do think representation is important, there isn't any personality trait or quirk directly associated with any mental illness or neurodivergence diagnosis, since every neurodivergent person is different and we don't want to portray the hardship of disability as game mechanics or labels. We do not want to gamify any serious illnesses, mental or physical either. However, I think some of our personality traits, vibes, talent and social perks can be used to portray a neurodivergent person. For instance, on my own ADHD character, I personally like to use the energetic vibe, the good at being alone social perk and the jack of all trades talent. There are also items linked to disabilities that Glow made to help with representation, like a weighted plushie, STEM toys, communication cards, meds and also items linked to physical disabilities. We also have mod tools, so if people of our community would like to mod in their ideas of neurodivergent traits and bits of gameplay, new needs, interactions, wants, etc., I think it wouldn't be too hard to do. Well, that was a long answer, but I'm really excited about this idea that there are basically 3 different kind of like personality traits or things that make your personality like complete. First, there are like these vibes, which can be whatever they're gonna be. Then there's gonna be a social perk, which I think is impacting to the social situations in the game, and then there is this talent, which basically I think is that where your para is good at. And I really love this idea that there are like 3 different point of views and they really can change the para's personality and the way you play the paras. And there are like many different possibilities how you're gonna use those three things. And then few more like lighter questions. Are ones still able to freeze impact needs if a para wants something severely enough? This changed a lot during development. At some point everything was a thought and ones were fighting with needs for what was the most important thing for your character. You could have a want so strong it was the only thing that mattered, but it also meant that the character were too unpredictable and it didn't playtest well enough. There are some situations where your needs will be frozen, but it's not due once anymore. Will voice pitches be inherited? It's not planned for now. Are there baby carriers or other ways for toting babies around while your adults go around doing things? No, at least not for now. And then question about twins, and I really didn't know that we can have twins in Paralives. I checked, and the last question here about the identical twins was from 5 years ago. What's the status of identical multiples? Can we have multiples who share the exact same genetics? For now, there's not really a difference between types of twins. In theory, they should all be identical, so they would share the same genetics, but their look could be a little bit different. For example, if they are blonde, they might be a different blonde color. Twins, multiples and pregnancy still needs to be tweaked a little bit before early access anyway. And that is so cool. Well, I'm really hating when I'm having twins, example in The Sims 4, but it's cool that you can have them and it's nice new way to play the game and also little mechanic that really enhance the gameplay. How will deliveries work? Will items be in packets or go straight to the inventory? Should go straight to the inventory. Hey lovely devs, so we know that the Paralives will be early access and a work in progress when we first play, but as far as gameplay or autonomy goes for paras, will other paras NPCs build friendships and relationships along with our own? Or will that be added during the early access stage? I'm really looking forward to story progression in it and seeing other paras around me live their lives too. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. This will be added during early access. NPCs will not build relationships by themselves. Thank you for the kind words. Hi everyone, I had a quick question about aging. Again, sorry. Is it possible to have our active household aging but not the unplayed paras, aka NPCs? Or is it only the two options, everyone ages and nobody ages? You can choose whether household and non-household characters age separately. And that is cool. I haven't thought about this topic, that there is kind of that you can turn on or off the aging depending on are you playing the household actively or not, and that is really impressive. I had another question about relationship labels. Is the relationship between two paras only defined by one single label from friendship or romance, or could it be that they have multiple relationship labels? For example, a best friend label and a crush label, or a rival label and a crush label. You can have multiple labels together. Some of them currently could make more sense. You can be acquaintance with your friend, but it's still a part of the game will improve. Thank you for the question. And that is awesome, I think. Awesome. That is awesome, I think, because it really makes your relationship deep, that there are like multiple different layers how you feel or your para is feeling about another para and vice versa. So this is cool. Still on the relationship labels, are there relationship labels that are family labels like parent, sibling to keep memorized that paras are from the same family, or is it not in the relationship labels at all? Yes, we have family labels used to track the links between characters, and I just want to see how the relationships are showing in the game, what is the UI with the relationship panel, and how these labels are showing us in the game. Please, something for me. I'm really wanting to know. And the last question. Hi, I hope you all are well. My questions are about the amount and variety of Type 4 coily, kinky, afro-textured hairstyles that will be available on December 8th. Particularly, I don't think I've seen any locks, so I wanted to ask if you currently have locked styles in the game. Also, if you're able to share, can you tell us what a percent of the current hair catalog is Type 4, locket or other culturally black hairstyles? Thank you. Hello, we have 2 hairstyles with locks and 2 braided hairstyles in the game at the moment, and for the percentage I'd say about 10% that I would consider culturally black hairstyles or more textured hair. Once the game is out, we'll be able to add a lot more hair depending on what people would like to see and what we feel like is missing, of course. So yeah, there were lots of new information, especially for me, about the game. I'm really interested about like the 3 different ways to have or like build up your personality in the game, and also like how they're gonna work and how is like the relationship panel is gonna look like. It was all today. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Are you excited about the Paralives? Happy weekend! Bye!